It's cracking.
How you going, mate?
You know, bits and pieces, mate. Bits and pieces. Rocks and diamonds.
Pieces. Rocks and diamonds, champagne, razor blades. That's the roller coaster that is punting.
And life.
And life in general. You could apply it to anything, really.
Absolutely. How's your week?
Mate, it's been great. It's been great. Nothing really of note to discuss, but since our last podcast, there's been some people who've been a little bit naughty and will miss out on the spring. Namely, one Jay Carr, who is arguably the best jockey in Australia.
Yes, you're correct. Harsh, fair, just about right.
I reckon just about right.
Bit Goldilocks type.
Yeah, real Goldilocks type. Yeah, look, the way I look at it, you've got to come down pretty harsh because what they did was obviously against government guidelines, not only Racing Victoria guidelines, and puts at jeopardy the entire operation, theoretically, right? So you've got to come down hard. And, yeah, 3 months, miss the spring. That's a big whack to their back, skyrockets.
Well, $5,000 is the fine from the government, and Jamie Carr's estimated potential earnings was around $400K
For the spring.
Yeah. So when you put it that way, I think it's a bit excessive.
Yeah, if you look at it purely from a monetary perspective.
And that's where it gets very cloudy. But it's been covered left, right and centre. And there's, mate, for the Twitter bloody warriors out there, holy smokes, mate.
Oh, yeah, there were some people saying some foul things about the jockeys, but namely Jay Carr.
And when they appealed it, she was the only one with, from my point of view, my opinion, with any class because she didn't appeal it. The rest of them are kicking up a stink. They're like, oh, I'm going to appeal this. She's owned it, moved on.
Yeah, she has, which I definitely respect. But no, none of the attention's on any of the other blokes. Mark Zara and Benny Mellum should know better.
Well, Mark Zara, it's strange because he wasn't named in the initial group.
Nah, he wasn't.
So
maybe he was doing a Jack DeBellin and hiding under the bed.
Marky Mark.
Marky, yeah, a bit of a Marky Mark move. Do you reckon that, so many different, contingencies, do you think Behemoth still would have won with Jay Carr on board?
Yeah, mate, he would have won with anyone on him, in my humble opinion. He was 3 wide, might have had a little bit of cover, but, mate, Brett Preble just rode him where he was comfortable.
Brady Preble, you rock, mate.
Yeah.
Honestly. He had Tefane on his left shoulder for the majority of the race, and Craigie Williams, Willow, couldn't get the girl out until the last, 200, if that?
Yeah. And she had to go back to go forward
exactly,
as well.
Yeah.
Real parallel park sort of situation. But see, Craig Williams has also got Behemoth for the next Group 1.
Rupert Clark?
Yep.
He does. And Brady Preb, one of my new favourite jockeys, he's picked up some cracking rides, mate. So he's got Probabile and had to commit to Probabile for the Rupert Clark so he could ride her in the Cox Plate.
Does he?
He does.
I thought Damien Lane would have had Probabile.
No, Brett Preble does.
Wow.
But Damien Lane, I think, has picked up VE.
Gotcha.
Because Mark Zara would have had... It's just the musical chairs of jockeys at the moment down in Melbourne.
Bloody merry-go-round.
I tell you what, it's if you're an apprentice coming through and you want to snag a few group races, this is your spring carnival.
Mate, I heard because Dwayne Dunn's not riding at the moment, but his son is. And on RSN, he was basically going like, and my son's available for riding.
Yeah.
So basically going like, throw him a bone.
Yeah.
Anyone. Yeah.
Should do.
Because that's basically three Group 1 rides each Group 1 pretty much.
Pretty much.
Open
and you don't have Bossy in Victoria. I'm sure a lot of the good New South Wales based jocks who'd usually come down for a bit of a raid on a Saturday won't be coming down.
J-Mark, Huey,
Yeah.
Kieran,
Curran, yeah.
the usual crew,
Mm.
you know. Anyway, mate, my sister got married on Sunday.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Finally.
Third time's lucky. Cracking day. Amazing day. Not exactly what they had in mind, but one of our good mates was MC. And I think you've met Dom.
Mm.
Funniest man I've ever met.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a huge statement.
Yeah. Undeniably just one of the funniest humans on our great earth. But he had a couple of brilliant stories. But to give a bit of context, and I hope this translates
No pressure.
in a room and on a podcast. But Tristan's parents' names are Bruce and Lee.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So introducing his parents for the speeches, he was like, and the next speaker, he was born in Hong Kong and specialized in martial arts and had a range of hit films, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, hold on. I've got a bloody text here. Oh, it's Tristan. Oh, it's Bruce and Lee.
Just your classic. So much you can do with that. Great material.
Yeah, well, and to his credit, that got a lot of laughs in the room. And not just from the McDonald's. It was like from the entire room. They're like, bang, that was funny.
Yeah.
Because earlier in the night, I think he did a pretty standard one where he was like, and it was a very emotional service, even the cake was in tears. And I was laughing, but I think I was the only one. And I was like, oh. And and you could just see him getting a bit sweaty under the collar. Mate, MC, a tough gig.
Yeah, look, I'd imagine it would be. I'd love to do it, to be honest.
Yeah, but you're that type of guy.
Yeah. Wouldn't get any laughs. Maybe people laughing at me. But no, I'd love to do it. But mate, glad that you could finally
celebrate.
Yeah, your sister could finally get married. Where'd you end up having it?
Good question. I think the Refinery in Newstead.
Right, okay.
I believe that's the name of the venue. Cracking venue.
Right.
So I've been there previously for a media event at my old job for an upfront. And I went up to the guy at the bar. I'm like, oh, mate, so do you do many weddings here? And he's like, yeah. And then Brew was with me, and she's like, that's all they do here. I was like,
you host weddings here often?
I felt like a bloody fool. But
bloody galah.
Yeah, but it is what it is, mate.
Another great name for a horse.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Could be worse.
Could be worse. You get that on the big jobs.
You get that on the big jobs. Back skyrocket. To the moon.
Yep. Shit ride.
Next time.
Yeah. Who's putting the quaddie on?
Treble.
Ah, sake. Treble?
How'd we leave that thing out?
Yeah. Who put that thing in? Idiot.
Anyway, mate, let's get cracking on to our special interest segment, which bit of fun this week. So no Group 1 racing this week, which is a bit of a downer.
Little bit, but both the cards in Melbourne and Sydney are great.
They're respectable.
They are.
I can respect the jockeys that are turning out and the horses have pulling their socks up, putting their shoes on.
Full respect to all connections.
Yeah, absolutely. And, if they're on, mate, you may as well have a go. So
be rude not to.
But obviously, mate, when you do it, you have to do it responsibly, mate. You have to. Let me just get this out of the way. So if gambling is a problem for you, mate, you have to, and you need to admit that, call the gambling help hotline on 1-800-858-858 or visit their website as well. So always remember, punters, to gamble responsibly.
Touche.
Anyway, our special interest segment with Ladbrokes this week, mate. Bit of fun. Something a little bit different.
Yeah, it is a bit different. And I think in honour of the Grey Flash, Chautauqua, he's got a race named after him. this weekend down south. So I was thinking, okay, the Grey Flash, obvious nickname for a grey horse who flashes by.
You know, you don't have to be Einstein to put that together.
And I was thinking this, there's a lot of great nicknames across Australian sport and international sport.
Local sport
all the time. You know, we're a country that really enjoys giving each other nicknames. You, for example, Hutcho.
Hutch. DJ, Jonesy.
Yep. Just a coupler. They're your more basic ones.
Yeah.
And I had a bit of a laugh at all the rugby league nicknames.
Oh.
They're pretty straightforward.
They are. MILF,
yep.
one of the greats.
Yep. Ryan Girdler, Girds.
Yeah, the 8th.
Yep. Darren Lockyer, Lockie. Alan Langer, Alfie. Wendell Saylor.
Dell.
Big Dell, maybe. So, rugby league isn't the best at giving players nicknames.
God, no.
Apart from maybe Staples for Mick DeVere.
That is one of the great nicknames of all time.
Huge nickname. We were pretty good at giving them nicknames.
We were, but we thought we were good. So
Yeah.
we're probably terrible.
Yeah, we probably were. But anyway, so special interest this week is all about the best nicknames in Australian sport across multiple codes.
According to us.
According to us, yeah, this is definitely not a definitive list.
No. And it's our domain. So that's completely fine.
Oh, look, we've said it before. We'll say it again. It's our podcast, not yours.
Yeah. But thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, though.
Yeah. Please share. Please. Anyway.
So to kick us off, this is a nickname given to two blokes, as far as I'm aware.
Oh.
Sauce.
Oh, yes.
So Stephen Silvani and Sean Marsh. So Steve Silvani is the son of Serge
Silvani, who I believe just passed away.
Oh, really?
Not too long ago.
Condolences. But yeah, so obviously Steve Silvani is a Carlton great.
Yep.
Believe his dad was too.
Well, Steve Silvani was fullback of the century.
Yeah, fullback of the century.
Last century.
Yeah.
Not this century. That just wouldn't make any sense.
The last one.
So this century, I think it would be Daniel Merritt from just because of the pure amount of footy, Big Sauce.
Oh,
one of the great nicknames, Sauce Merritt.
Yeah, there you go. He had to defend a lot of footy, didn't he?
Mate, he had the iron fist.
So many spoils. But yeah, obviously Steve is the son of Serge, so son of Serge, Sauce. And then I like Sean Marsh's more though.
Yeah, because it's
the nickname of a nickname.
It's a layered nickname.
It's like Nickception. Nicknameception. So Sean Marsh is son of Jeff Marsh. And you're thinking, son of Jeff, that'd be Sog, not Sauce.
Sog.
But Jeff Marsh's nickname was Swampy.
Swampy.
So he's son of Swampy, Sauce. So I reckon Sauce is a cracking nickname.
Yeah. And I think Sean's son is Little Swamp. Because I think, have you seen his kid? It's like
spitting image,
mate.
Oh, it's just ridiculous,
unbelievable. Just slap the gloves on him now.
Yeah,
yeah. Sauce, one of the great nicknames. So this is our favourite nickname of all time.
Oh, I love him so much.
And shout out to Daniel Rich Flavour for finally getting his All-Australian jersey, and bloody overdue, I might say.
100%.
Best kick in the league in the AFL. Definitely could have gone back to Perth on some decent coin, but he decided to stay at the Lions. So Daniel Rich, shout out to you. But the origin story of Daniel Rich Flavour. Now, not many people might actually know this nickname. But back in the day, Triple M used to do their best work in, I'd say, the mid-2010s. And I remember showing you this footage, and it's still on YouTube, of Triple M. I think it's called the YouTube Rub. And it's basically the Saturday Rub, which used to be JB, Sir James Brayshaw, Gary Lyon, and the late, great Danny Frawley. Basically just hanging shit on each other the entire time. It was brilliant listening. A lot of fun. But what they used to do was a team of the century every year based on performances that year. And a lot of the time it was players who were decent, but they also did players who were, a bit of cult figures in there too. And that's where Daniel Rich flavour came in. So Daniel Rich, they gave him the nickname because in a past time, I think Gary Lyon used to enjoy a rich flavoured cigarette. So he's like, oh, Daniel Rich flavour. And we just absolutely love the layer of that nickname. And whenever Richie gets the footy on a Saturday afternoon in the dimming light at the Gabba, you and I just go like flavour.
When he kicks a goal from 60 metres out with that absolute rocket he's got as a left boot.
Flavour!
Oh, flavour! Oh, love him.
Before we go on to the next one, and I think I put this in the article as well, but one of the other all-time moments on radio for mine was when they were interviewing ex-Western Bulldogs. Not going to call him a great because he wasn't player, better than us obviously, but he didn't play through 200 or 300 games. Jared Grant, Gary Lyon, he's like, oh, so how do you like the nickname Microphone Head? To him on air. And he's like, oh, I've never really been called that. For context, this guy has like really curly
like buzz cut
hair. And he was like, basically like, oh yeah, I thought, you got called that because you look like a microphone. He's like, nah, mate, I've never got that in my entire life.
What about when they were talking about what hides in Max Gawn's beard?
Oh, yeah, packet of smokes.
A full packet of smokes. What do you reckon he has in that beard? A full packet of smokes. Maybe some rich flavoured darts. Yeah, Gone flavour. One of our faves. Do you know who has some great nicknames? Mark Waugh.
Oh, yes.
So Junior is probably his more known one because Mark Waugh is the younger brother of Steve Waugh, even though they're twins. Mm-hmm. Not by long.
No.
Just a little bit younger.
Mate, it all counts. Every second counts.
Exactly right. But before Mark made his Australian debut, his older brother Steve had been plundering runs and taking wickets for many years. And at one stage, Mark Waugh I think he had the most amount of runs in first-class cricket in Australia without having made his test debut. Or played any international cricket.
There you go.
Interesting start. So that led people to call Mark Waugh Afghan. Afghan War, or the lesser-known war.
I thought it was called the Forgotten War.
Yeah, it's the Forgotten War.
Yeah. Doesn't he have another one? He used to get sledged a lot too.
Yeah, but apparently you could give it back pretty well. Oh, yeah.
Well, you can... You just... Every time I hear him talk, it's like, God, this is the most nonchalant person.
So nonchalant.
Just so relaxed all the time. But, yeah, I think he was hanging it on some batsman in a one day or something. And the batsman just quick as a Usain Bolt.
Quick as a racehorse.
Yeah,
Quick as a grey flash.
Yeah, quick as a grey flash. He just turns around and goes... At least I'm the best cricketer in my family. Oh, damn. And this is a bloke who played 100 tests for his nation.
Yeah. You could say the same thing to Matty Johns, who played nearly 200 games of rugby league, including for his state. The best in your family.
For his nation.
Yeah. Played for Australia. Yeah. One of the great blokes, Matty Johns, in terms of banter. But, yeah, Mark Waugh, Afghan.
Poor Junior. This one... I actually didn't know until I did some research. I don't even know who this guy is, but apparently he's the Waratahs coach at the moment. Chris Anthems Whitaker.
Yeah, I knew this one.
So is that how you pronounce his last name?
Whitaker, yeah.
Yep, sweet. On we go. So this guy played 31 tests for the Wallabies.
Well done.
Yeah. I was like, oh, why is he called Anthems? That makes no sense. What position would he have played? Oh, he played scrum half. So he was just riding the pine for a decade behind the great George Gregan.
Mate, the best orange cutter and peeler you'll ever come across in your life.
Always made.
Efficient.
Always made sure that the Gatorade was stirred just right.
Yeah. Oh, it makes the best Gatorade.
Yeah. Water bottles were filled to the brim.
Yep.
So the reason why this bloke was called Anthems is because the only time he made it onto the playing pitch was for the national anthems.
So funny. Come on, anthems. George Gregan played obviously a ton of tests and wouldn't have come off very often at all. This is one of the things that I find bizarre about rugby union is that the bench has players for every position. Whereas in rugby league, it's like you've got 4 people on the bench. Better pray that your halfback doesn't go down.
And a medical sub.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
Yeah. Better pray that your halfback doesn't go down.
So in rugby union, this is just my complete utter, misunderstanding of the game. So if you're a reserve on the bench and you don't play, that's not a cap for Australia.
No.
Gotcha. Because in the AFL, if you're the medical sub now, so the 23rd man, that's considered a game.
Really?
Yeah. In the
I
league.
didn't know that.
Yeah. So, and that's the debate going on at the moment for the Demons because they are, let's be honest, they're shit hot right now. They're looking very nice.
They are.
They towed up our Lions, but mate, the Lions didn't lose that. Melbourne just absolutely were dominant. And it is what it is.
It is what it is. But
Nathan Jones of 300 game fame, of your cousin fame,
Cuzzy.
He's not in the 22 at the moment. And he's played 300 games for the club. And he's basically the favourite son. And it's like, what are we going to do with this bloke? I think what they might do is put him in as the 23rd man if they get there.
Yeah. Because he's been there. He's been through all the shit times there as well.
Yeah.
He's ridden all the waves.
Yeah. So the Demons went on a massive losing streak, obviously. But I think the last final they won before they've been decent in the last few years was 2006.
Right.
And he was playing in that game. 300 games for the club. You kind of have to get him in there.
Yeah, you do. But sport's made of fairy tales and sometimes it's not.
I heard he's already heading to Perth just to be in the squad. But his wife is actually giving birth to twins. Was away.
Sometimes you just gotta shake your head in bewilderment.
Oh man, tough being tough being Jonesy at the moment,
mate. Being a Jones isn't as easy as what I make it out to be. Honestly. Last one for me, Farlap.
Yeah,
the Red Terror, Bobby, Big Red, classic nicknames. Made me think about some other horses. Black Flash for Lonhro.
Oh yeah.
Nelly for Black Caviar. Betty. Mighty Mare for Winks.
Betty was Mystic Journey.
Yep. Yeah. Betty. Some really personal nicknames for horses. But I'm going to throw one in there that is not sport related whatsoever, but is the best nickname I've ever heard in my entire life. And I've probably told you about this.
Please.
So mum and dad grew up with a bloke who was missing half his ear. Guess what his nickname was?
I have nothing.
18 months, because he's only got an ear and a half. Best nickname I've ever heard.
That's good.
18 months.
18 months. That's funny. That's funny.
But yeah, there you go.
I also had a special mention. It's 2 actually. This is a nod in the direction of club sport.
Yeah.
And if anyone worth their salt playing club sport would have heard this around the clubhouse. But anyone who has a hyphenated last name, calling him 2 dads,
classic.
Is classic.
No brainer.
But you can also flip it. So say our mate, Rob Gregg, you could call him No Dads.
Yeah, just a classic.
Because
he doesn't have a dad. No last name.
He has 2 first names.
2 first names. Yeah, classic.
So that's the segment, I believe.
Special interest, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ladbrokes. Once again,
TY.
For your support.
Yeah. No, one of the great bookies of all time. So, juicy steaks time.
Yeah.
Unless we had anything else, let's get Macca on the blower. How's that sound?
Yeah, fingers crossed. Hopefully he answers. Be a real conundrum if he doesn't.
Would be. Here we go. Oi, oi. You got us, bruh?
Boys, how are you?
Oh, no.
You right, mate?
You got me?
Yeah, got you now.
Oh, here we are. Fourth farm.
How you going, mate?
Yeah, mate, real good. How you guys going?
Good, mate.
Well-
I thought we didn't have you for a second because you are out in the sticks, let's be honest.
Yeah, look, mate, country boy from heart. You know what it is. It's hard yucca out here.
Yeah, can imagine. So, don't you have an actual horse paddock in the backyard?
Yeah, mate. I got 4 of them running around at the moment,
Foreign training.
and a couple of little doggies running around, but that's all right. It's all good.
Or greys.
Well, welcome to the pod anyway, Macca. It's been a while since we've had you on.
Mate, it has been a long time, but you know what? Always happy to share my juice knowledge. That's for sure.
Juice knowledge, and this man does know juice because this is the man who won our internal punk club Group 1 tipping comp by 3, 2 or 3. And so this man, I think he tipped for the entire season last year, 16 winners, which in Group 1s is pretty damn good going.
Yeah, I think it might have even been 18.
18? Well, there you go. So that's just hard numbers.
Yeah, it's just the facts are facts, mate.
That's black and white stuff.
Yeah.
But
Just thanks to the rap boys. Love it.
and he's already taken an early lead this season. So finding Moanga at $10.
Oh, jeez.
Didn't
Filthy.
even see it in the bloody form guide. All right,
Just sneaky down the bottom there.
well, Mac, what you can do more than anyone else is abstract that much juice out of a lemon, i.e. a form guide. You're unbelievable. The best I've ever seen at it. So what do you like this weekend at a huge price?
Huge price. All right, mate. My roughie of the week is at Death Valley, race 3.
Death
By
Valley,
the
race
name.
3.
Yeah. Look, mate, I don't like Death Valley at all, but there's generally some juice line about there. And I've found myself scissor step at $27.
What number?
Now, I think it's 4.
Oh, yes,
I don't
scissor
have-
step. There you go.
Is it 4?
Yep.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he started off racing career pretty handy, 3/3 and a win under his belt. So it comes into this first up. So obviously there's not that too much first up record, but it draws well and it's going to find position on pace, which Mooney Valley, that's where you want to be.
That's what you want.
Yeah, exactly. And it raced against a handy one, Finance Tycoon, last start as well. But then also, notably in that same race was Arcaded, so who it beat home. So that's, it's pretty handy form, and I'd like to see how it goes first up. And $27, I'm happy to have a little dabble at that.
Damian Lane in the saddle. What are you... Stupid
Mate.
stuff.
Yeah. Why is it the bookies don't know what they're talking about, mate?
No.
They're missing it. They're missing something.
Alrighty, mate. What about it each way across the Great Land?
Each way, great land. I've ended up on Construct in race 4 in Sydney.
Mate,
So I've kind of followed this one a little bit. Hasn't really paid the mortgage off yet, but that's all right. It's still learning. I think it's got a good chance this weekend. And $7 for $2.40 the place. I'm happy to do that. There's a bit of speed in this race, and it's going to drop right back. And I think it should have enough gas in the tank to come over and late.
Mate, it's great minds think alike for mine because I think that horse is an absolutely cracking bet on the weekend.
Yeah, so $7. I think it's a bit silly, each way play, $2.40 a place,
This is a benchmark 72. This horse has been racing in Group 1s, Group 2s, Group 3s. So,
Exactly.
yeah, I think...
Blue Diamond this year, was it this year or last year it was in the Blue Diamond?
Yeah. No, this year. And, yeah, Snowdens know how to get their 3-year-olds right. So, no, I like
That's
it.
it.
Alrighty, big man. Who's your best of the day?
Best of the day, all right. So obviously there's nature strip and darking stuff going around. So I've tried to look around them. I'm a bit iffy about them. So I've gone to Brisbane, race 5 in La Palmier. 6-horse field, so it's obviously not a big field, but 2 foot. I think it's 230 you're getting now. Last start, first up, had a nice run into the race, but just couldn't get over the leader. But the 2 leading pairs broke away from the rest of the field. So, it had something to give, but the leader was too good. Second up profile reads well. 4 starts, 2 wins and a placing. And it's dropped in the weights and dropped in the grade. So I think from jumping from 4, it's gonna sit on the rail behind the leader, and hopefully they get an inside run or it opens up for him down the outside. And just I think it's a good bet.
I don't know about you, but that's a bloody good case, mate.
That's a great case, mate. I'm just happy you've done the form in Brisbane.
Yeah. Mate, I've had a quick look around the grounds, and I think it was the best one I could come up with. The danger is Juicy Bell. She's in fine form, I think her prep, this has been 2 placings and 2 wins. So she's in cracking form. So I think it's going to be those 2, Quinella. But I think La Palmiere is just going to be a little bit too good, hopefully.
Uncle Tony's going to get it done for you, mate.
I really hope so.
Yeah, far out, mate. So just to summarise these, you've gone Moonee Valley, race 3, number 4, Scissor Step as your value. You've gone Randwick, race 4, number 7, Construct as your each way. And your best bet of the day is Eagle Farm, race 5, number 1, La Palmiere.
That's it, man. I like to spread the love around the country. I wanted to go country, but I couldn't pull myself to do it.
Mate, there's plenty of juice across the eastern seaboard, mate, and you've managed to find it, I reckon.
I hope so, boys. I hope so. Let's have a fill up.
It's a fill up.
Sounds good, bro. Well, thanks for jumping on, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you very soon.
Absolutely, boys. Ready to launch.
See you, bro.
Thanks, Mac.
Yeah, boys. See ya.
What a man.
What a guy.
Well, let's waste no time here. Let's not waste people's time.
Let's just get straight into it.
Your juicy stakes of the week here, mate. What's your value play of the day?
We're playing in Sydney. We're going to the last race, race 10, number 9, Charm Star. Launches from barrier 1, so should find a sit pretty comfortably. Chris Waller trained horse, J-Mac on board. Chris Waller's got a ton of horses in this race. When J-Mac's on one, it's going pretty great guns. It was the horse that ran second behind Jewis in the Queensland Oaks. So first up after 13 weeks, I'm a bit iffy about backing horses first up, but he's got some cracking form, finished behind Only Words and Bargain before the Queensland Oaks and the Roses. Ran some good races before that. But comes here, should get a nice sit, and it's paying $19 with laddies at the moment. So I'm keen to find out. And I look through that race. There's some chances, a stack of chances in that race. You got Skylab, who obviously ran well around Mwanga and Lions Raw in the autumn. You've got a Tissue, who's been racing really, really well, going for its 6th win in a row at $3.40. But I think Charm Star at $19 is a bit of value.
Yeah, I nearly put this horse as my roughie of the day. Number 3, Charlize, in that race for Kiramar David Eustace. Rock hard fit. I don't think they really like to spell their horses.
No, they don't. They keep them in work for a long time.
Bit of a European program, which I actually don't mind, but I think that horse is actually got some sneaky good form. Like beat home Desert Lord, who I think in this race, I think he would be very competitive, that Queensland Galloper.
Yep.
Ran second to Groundswell. 7 weeks off, has a decent first up profile, so it can take a break. So I actually might make it my roughie
for a
today.
6-pack.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? My each way of the day is Construct in race 4
Yeah, there you go.
in Sydney. I think it is just a cracking bet. He's been in Group 3, Group 2 company and running pretty damn well this prep. I think it just came a bit too early for him as a 2-year-old. So Snowdens have figured him out, hopefully. And in a benchmark 72, that's a big drop in grade, and he's one of the lighter weighted horses.
Yeah, should run well. There was a horse in that race. Can't remember his name now. There was a 3-year-old colt in that race. Well, I didn't mind the look of its last race, but I can't bring up the form for whatever reason.
Starman or
Starman.
Yeah, for Waller.
Yeah. So I like the look of its last run, but it's only run the one race, so not a stack to go off. But no, I think Construct's a great bet. For me, my best each way, sticking in Sydney, race 2, number 5, Nags to Riches. Backed it last start where it ran 5th out of 14, which is a little bit disappointing. It had every chance, but just sort of faded towards the end. Now is at 1,200 metres, drops back down to 1,100 metres, also strips fitter with Tom Sherry claiming the 2 kegs will be one of the lightest horses in this race, but it's third up here, drawn well in barrier 6. I think it should be strong enough to fight out the finish. So you're getting about $5.50 with it, with laddies and get your money back if it places. So next to riches for me.
Beautiful. What's your best of the day?
Well, Macca said he was steering clear of Nature Strip and Zaki. Fair enough. Look, I think Nature Strip should win that race, but I've gone with Zaki as my best bet of the day. I was looking at that race. I think, just looking at the class of the horses, he should win purely on class. For me, the danger is if we get a pretty dry deck, maybe Rock. I'm expecting Dreamforce to probably lead and go well. Lions Roar, obviously, big friend of the pod. But just listening to Johnny O'Shea, he's come back. He needs to strip a bit fitter. So this is just a first up. Get one through the legs for Lions Roar, I think.
He's enormous, apparently.
Oh, just, yeah.
He's got a 6-pack of blokes in his stomach currently.
He's a big boy. So he'll strip fitter. So he's a watch for me, Lions Roar. But I think Zaki on class should win this. J-Mac in the saddle just sits outside them and bang. He's in for a big prep, Zaki.
Yeah. Mick Felgate was asking him today, so should we have something on Lions Roar this weekend? He's like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
He's not going to win. He's going around there just to have a look around. So, and just, to strip a few kegs. So
looking at about the 2,000 metres, 2,400, I think Lions Roar.
Oh, yeah. I think they're actually, because he's a 4-year-old now, 4-year-olds, obviously the Golden Eagle might be the target, but for him, I reckon he would be brilliant in like a Metropolitan or something.
Yeah, 100%.
Because that is such a weak race and still some decent prize money to be won. But we're just a little podcast. We're not the experts.
What would we know?
We wouldn't. Man, I want you to head to Moonee Valley race 3 for me. The race where Macca's Ruffy is situated. I want you to have a look at horse number 6, Taunting.
Yeah, right.
Brady Preble in the saddle.
I'm a big fan of Brett at the moment.
He is. He's a good jockey, mate. And I think this is a very, very smart horse. Very lightly raced, 3-year-old, but this horse has one of the best actions I've ever seen.
Oh, and really?
Yeah. Trainer Hickmont, he was saying that this could be, it's definitely, so he saw this horse at the sales and it's the most money he's ever spent on a yearling.
Right.
And it's basically like his pet. He loves this thing that much. And he said, I think he was trying to be very
pragmatic.
Yeah, pragmatic and kind of not give too much away when he was talking to Mickey Blue Eyes on RSN. But I think this horse could be a really, really good one.
Genuine group horse.
Yeah, I think so. Got a magnificent action.
Oh, like the real stride out, reaching for it.
Yep, he's a lot of movement in the neck.
I love to see that.
Which you'll love to see. And he's got a bit of a baldy face, so you will see him.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So, yeah, Taunting race 6.
Okay.
And he's only run on soft deck, so if the rain does come in Moonee Valley,
He'll be fine.
I'm not too phased. And he's drawn barrier 5, which is perfect. He can get to the fence if he needs to. If the fence is off, he's usually in the first few anyway.
Excellent. Speaking of horses with the beautiful action, we'll give you a little bonus one here, punters. So race 6, the Valley, number 7, Zuzarella. Watched its last start in the Valley over 1,200 metres. Was 4 wide the entire trip. Had to do so much more. Won by half a head, so not by much, but the action was lovely. Brady Preble in the saddle again here today. You're getting about $7.50 with Ladbrokes for Zuzarella, and I think there's bigger and better things on the horizon, 1,000 guineas potentially for it.
Yeah, I have a feeling this might be Friedman's Oaks horse.
Yeah,
because, they said who's going to be the better bet this weekend out of those two over the 1,200. They said Argentia. Yeah. Because Zuzarella, I think, is a bit more, is it Oh no, I'm thinking.
Argentia's it's stablemate, and yeah, look, I heard the same thing.
It's out of Frankel.
Yeah.
So it's they said for Argentia it's out of Frankel, so it'll get over further, but she's got a really sharp turn of foot, which is a bit unusual for the Frankels. So, they think that she could be anything, and it might actually be a bit of a more short distance horse. But Zuzarella, I think, could get over further.
Yeah. So Zuzarella's a Zoustar, which is interesting because Zoustar usually produces sprinters. So there's some breeding for you. But just thought I'd point that out. Also in the Valley card, you've got Portland Sky and September Run resuming, which will be a cracking race to see how they go. I've got high hopes for Portland Sky, finishing behind Masked Crusader and the Billy Reid. Man, if he runs super well here, there might be some interest in him for the Everest.
Absolutely. And Bold Star usually goes quite well first up, but, he's kind of petered out very horrifically. September Run, can she get back on the podium?
If she can, she's also a shout for the Everest. Who knows?
Yeah. And then if you go back to the Concord in Sydney, I've actually tipped Wild Ruler over Nature Strip.
Fair enough.
Because I think Wild Ruler... Nature Strip's already got the Everest spot. He's not going to be fully wound up. Wild Ruler has to be to get an Everest spot. And I think that was the only thing I kept saying throughout the spring podcast series last year. Just backing these things that need a spot, and I don't think I landed one of them. But Wild Ruler, Snowden's again, I think they could get the job done. And then the other... I think it's what the actual race day in Sydney is named after, mate. The Furious Stakes. We should touch on that real quick.
We should, yeah. Let's do it.
Are you team 4 moves ahead again?
This is an interesting race for her, for me. I want to see her run really well because obviously I'm a fan. But if she doesn't, what do you do with her? There's a lot of chances in this race, mate. There's where am I?
You got Swift Witness, who beat her home last start. You also have Najmati, the other Snowden horse. Snowden's could have a day out here. And even Joyous Legend isn't a horrific... it's a double-figure price, but it's a decent horse.
Agreed, yeah. So she's all class, ran behind 4 moves ahead in the Sweet Embrace and was charging home. If Drew better, would have won. So, but 4 moves ahead ran a cracking time in that race too. So... 4 moves ahead draws barrier 15. Yeah, I'm not sure, mate. That's a tough race for me to bet in because if I was going to have a bet, I'd love to bet on 4 moves ahead, but I'm just not overly confident in her this weekend. I'm keen on Swift Witness again. Yeah,
yeah. I would have liked this race to be a bit further. Would have liked it to be 1400, but since it's not, I think it's still drawn perfectly, and it's a very consistent galloper.
Yeah.
For Waterhouse and Bott. So it's going to be rock hard fit.
But yeah, there's a stack of good races. There's the Chelmsford Stakes. You've got Cook or Arch, I think it over. Celino resuming. Don't back him this weekend, punters. But so heaps on.
We could keep talking, but
all day.
I think that's enough.
Yeah.
I think that's enough. So all the best this weekend.
Competition?
You. Oh, yeah. Totally forgot about that. Punters, we're doing a competition, a tipping comp.
This is exciting stuff, punters.
It is, because the good people at Ladbrokes, they've given us a little prize pack here. So let me just go through the goodie bag to see what laddies are bringing to the table. So you got this lovely hat, which you can wear at the pub. You also got this stubby cooler to put all your blokes in. You got a little pen here to, just circle stuff on the form guide, your best bets. But the piece of resistance, other than the tote bag, which you can take to the shops, mate, look at these socks.
Mate, that's a pair of socks.
They will get the JD. They will get the JD.
They sure will.
So, lovely little prize back, thanks to Ladbrokes. But what you got to do, punters, is go to our Instagram or our website, kenstreetmedia.com/onthedrift. All the details are there. Got a little survey in there. Fill out your details, your name, your email, your Instagram handle, so we can actually contact you. And then all you got to do is fill in your top pick in the 10 race card at Randwick.
Yep. Pick a horse for each race. If it runs first, second, or third, we'll divvy up some points, obviously pertaining to its finishing position.
Yeah.
And whoever has the best day wins the prize pack.
Yeah. And
Bang.
we have a few of these.
Yeah.
We have a few of these. So I think what we're going to do is pretty much do it across the rest of the spring if we have enough promo gear. So easy as that. We'll put up other stuff on the socials as well. But if you've made it this far,
Yeah, fingers crossed.
fingers crossed. Tell your mates, get involved. You can win some free stuff.
Yep. We'll spread the word. We'll get it done. We've got a few of those prize packs, like you said, so time to start getting involved. Show us how good you are at picking winners.
Yeah. You know, I think when I did my tips out, I think I had 3 horses in single figures. The rest are like $20.
Right, there you go.
Yeah.
Juicy.
I this weekend for me is a real watch and see.
Yeah, won't play that massively this weekend either.
No. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for listening.
Best of luck, drifters.
Hooroo.